Hello, welcome to WIP IT Sundays. With me tonight's Mr. Commandant.
Good morning.
How's everybody out there in the YouTube land? Let's get some background music going.
Wonderful.
We got Vulcan Rumble here, and we got Because of Ben, B.O.B. Hello, everybody.
Not a thing to complain about. What?
Oh, I got plenty to complain about, but I just don't. I ain't bringing it here. This is a relaxing zone. This is for your.
Well, I was going to complain about not having my pre-order come in on my Hulkbuster, but I just didn't receive the notification on it. I went in and looked at it.
I just happened to look at my phone. It was like seeing like an Amazon notification. And I was like, what the?
It's like, yeah, it'll be there Thursday. And I was like, oh, well, why are you telling me now? Tell me Thursday.
I am working on this Rage figure. Oh man, I gotta fix that. I don't think this Pro Acryl paint likes my clear coat. I got some crinkles around the neck and man, I got several spots.
Ugh.
That's no bueno. So I'm going to sand those out. Basically, like about the only place that didn't crinkle was the. Well, what's weird is the arms didn't crinkle, but the torso did.
So homeboy's chest hair is a sticker.
Do what now?
Homeboy's chest hair is a sticker.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
We got Justin Booth in the house. Hello, gentlemen. Because of Bob, I got a question for you. I started on my Cheetah repaint. How do you paint the joints of the elbow? Do you have to take it apart to get to the joint? I usually take stuff apart and sand the joints to allow enough clearance. So, yeah, definitely want to take it apart to get into the joints. And Ragnar Arts, hey, hello, sir. And I need a fresh piece of sandpaper, I believe. Actually, I think I just want to go into a little bit coarser grit, then go down to a finer thread. And this thing crinkled way more than I thought it did.
Crinkle. Where do I want the stretch to go? That's a good question. It really doesn't matter on the shirt, I guess. You guess with me?
Yes.
Good. We all agree. I had a guy. So usually, I am very rarely surprised, right? Like the Titanium Man.
Mm-hmm.
When I posted it, I knew it was going to do good. I knew a lot of people was going to like that, right? And the Thor Buster, I knew that was going to do good. I knew a lot of people was going to like that. It's rare that I'm ever like surprised that something does good, and I'm like, why is this doing good? But my that Doom is doing really great.
Well, that's awesome.
It had over 100 likes in the first 8 hours.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, just prospectively speaking, I only get like 50 per thing, so doubled me up.
Well,
Before I even got out of bed the next morning, I got a message from our friend of the show, Mr. Cannon, saying that he received it, and I was like, great, I'm going to post it. And then I posted and ghosted.
So many crinkles. At least they're not deep crinkles. I've had it like do really bad before, where they raise up really high. And
Might have offended one of my commenters though.
Okay. How's that?
Well, his comment was how much. And I was like, well, let's break it down. So, I individualized all the price points on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, it all comes out to be right about $550. And he's like, well, I'm sorry I asked. How much did you think it was going to be?
$399.99.
I mean, even if you go buy the one from, which you can't, but the one that I bought from C. Jessom is over $100.
Now, I know people were meaning well when I posted the work in progress pictures of this Rage torso with the water slides. People were like, "Do you sell water slides?" No, I don't. Will you make me custom water slides? No.
I don't make custom anything.
And like I asked them, like, how do you? What I said, asked, do you sell water slides? I replied like kindly, like, this is my hobby. I don't really sell anything. Unless you want to buy a t-shirt, I got those. I appreciate when people ask, and it's like, but that's commission work, and I don't do commission work.
Yeah, like 90% of everything I do is for no other reason than I want to do it.
Yeah. Anytime I do anything, it's for fun. More freaking crinkles. I don't know what caused the reaction, because like I said, the arms didn't do it. Just the torso. I don't know if it's a combination of the primer and the Pro Acryl. Maybe mix in some of the solution for the water slide. Of course, the water slides did fine. They didn't crinkle. Everywhere that was at, it didn't crinkle. I don't know. I thought I was ready to put this sucker together, but yeah. Oh. Let me get caught up on the chat right quick. On the double joint, is it just a heat and remove? Yeah, you can just heat it up with a hair dryer, which especially if you want to put it back together after you paint it, you got to use a hair dryer. If it's not painted, you can use hot water, heat it up, pop the pins out. Forget what base figure you're using. If it's got pins, it's easy to take apart. But if not, if it's a pinless figure, you got to sand them in place or cut them out, then reinstall them like Mr. Token did. Does. It's a little more involved. Next question: would you suggest on getting sci-fi boots or a Marvel Select Hulk? What would you suggest for getting sci-fi boots on a Marvel Select Hulk? Maybe Marvel Select. That can be tricky.
Oh.
Maybe the Hulkbuster Build-A-Figure legs. Those might be big enough. What do you feel about polyurethane as sealant? I would avoid that. I would do like a lacquer-based sealer. I built the ship. Someone asked me how much, and I said around like 1.5K. He was like, it is the 40K charge. Alfredo, howdy folks. Hello, Gary. Good evening. I got your Wonder Woman head here. I got it fit to the body. I'm going to mix up a little bit of meal put. Got one little spot I need to touch up on the top of the head. I don't know why my printer is starting to put on the top of wherever I print, puts a tiny little hole in the top. I don't know why. How long did you wait before sealing? The paint was dry. It's been dry for a while, so I don't know what's caused it. Well, it's pinless figure. Yeah, you pretty much got to sand those in place unless you want to cut them out. Tigra, yeah. Unless you, if you can find the right shade of paint in these Mr. Color lacquers, a lot of times you can get by without having to prep with this paint. This paint bonds to the plastic really well, but you need to let it dry before you articulate anything. But this stuff is really tough paint. It's like I painted these Luke Cage shoulders, the pins, the disc, I mean, and you can move them, and there's no rub whatsoever. I did not do any prep work on those. This stuff is great. You got to mix a little bit of thinner in it if you're going to brush it off on a figure. But be careful. Some of those paints can cause like a allergic reaction. Corey from Casting Cave, he said when you try to use that it causes like almost like an anaphylactic reaction to him. So you don't use those. Harker took him some, and he's like, he can't. And to try it, and he couldn't use it. The Smart Hulk Disney exclusive. I'm not sure what kind of legs, the sci-fi boots you could use for that. To get big enough, the only thing I can think of would be that Hulkbuster. The Build-A-Figure parts. Those are pretty good sized legs. I'd like you to know that you're an excellent mom, and I'm a fan. Thank you, sir. I just try to do what I can. I would try using it to use putty on the foot. sure she'll come out great. Now I'm all caught up on the chat. Now get back to getting the crinkle lines off Rage. What I'll do, I'm not going to put the, I didn't get the reaction with the dull coat, so I think I'll just, when to get sanded and retouch it up, I'll just use the dull coat over it. It won't be as durable.
But how hard are we really playing with these things?
Right. It's just it's all Harker posted his Mindbender jacket.
Yeah, I was proud to see him post it again.
Yeah. I commented on it. Zach, he sent me one of those. That thing is so much better than that piece of crap that Hasbro made. That thing that the Hasbro made, the color leaches onto the figures. The dye on the cloth they used stains the figure.
Nasty.
I noticed when I was hitting it with the clear coat, the paint looked funny when I was hitting it. I thought it was odd. Then after that, it crinkled, so it was causing some kind of weird reaction. But it's weird it didn't do it on the arms. So it's got to be a combination of things, like not just the paint itself. Or maybe it was, I don't know. I've had random things like this happen before. It's like you think you did everything exactly to what you usually do, then all of a sudden the clear coat ruins everything.
Goes left.
Yep. And strip and start completely over, which this one I think I can salvage. Which the back is not as necessary to get perfect because it's going to be covered up in the jacket for the rest of life once it goes together. But you know me, I know it's there. I'm going to try to do some fixes to it. A gentleman contacted me the other day about wanting to buy my domino upgrade. Good evening.
What's up?
What you into?
Well, all I've been doing is that Snake Eyes and Rye all weekend.
For some reason you're super loud.
I am?
There he went. It went back to normal now.
Okay.
You were doing a Honda there for a second.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes, and some reason, like I was telling you yesterday, like my paint crinkled on this Rage when I hit it clear. So now I'm having to sand those crinkles out so I can. It did it on the front and the back. I didn't see it on the front last night, and took it up close to it.
Well, what's that stuff? They put that stuff in some of the clear.
Well, it didn't do it on the arms. I painted the arms too, and they were fine.
Was it just doing it on the ABS parts, not the PVC parts?
Oh, I don't know if it's a combination of stuff, like what's going on with the torso, with the reaction with the primer and the Pro Acryl. I don't know. Everywhere the water slide decals are at, fine. That didn't crinkle. It's just the bare paint did it. I was thinking maybe it was like the solution I put on the decals. No, they're fine. I don't know. You get some weird reactions sometimes. Just big thing, just when stuff goes wrong, don't get disheartened, and just it happens. Move forward.
All I got is to be disheartened. All I have is my rage.
Oh, I've gotten mad before, and I still never found that Steve Rogers head. John Walker head. I was working on one time. It got screwed up, and I just pitched it. I have no idea where it went to. You got a new camera angle.
Yeah, I just moved my camera.
Nice. I was looked up and seen you actually your workstation.
My workstation is just my desk. I just usually like push my keyboard back. And then I just sit there and do this. That's my work. This is why I have this mat down.
Yeah.
It's because it's easy to clean off. So this is one of those garage mats that you get at like Home Depot.
Oh yeah.
And I just cut a little section of it out and put it on my desk under my keyboard. So
that totally works.
So I followed your advice and I made a decal for Rye's chest.
Oh, dude, that looks good.
So, and it came out pretty damn good. I had to touch it up a little bit here and there. And the only thing I have left to do, I'm so nervous about this. You can't even see that, but wow. Can you see that? I've got Rye's head all done, except for the dot on his forehead.
That raised eyebrow works so good with him.
Yeah, it really does. I went in and I did all the paint, and I was like nervous to do it, which is why I was originally going to send it to you. But I'm like, you know what? I need to do this myself. So the only thing I have left to do is put the red dot on his forehead, and I can't make a stencil that small, so I'm gonna have to freehand it, which is nerve-wracking. So that's what I'm dealing with at the moment, trying to figure that out. But at least I got the snake eyes done this weekend, so I'm happy with him.
Which looks great.
Yeah, dude, that Black Panther body works great for snake eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So
I also used it for I had some I ended up on eBay. I got a Black Manta, DCUC Black Manta, and it was really cheap. And like I made a bid on it real quick. It's one of those things that's in it, like I think Toy Art does. It was like on the side, like auctions get ready to end. I was like, ooh, that's a cheap Black Manta. I clicked on it, and I was like, nobody's bid on this. I bid on it. Didn't pay attention until I got it. It's like it had two like left thighs, and the guy just had to turn the leg around so he didn't notice. He mentioned it in the description. It told him me rushing and like is getting ready to end and did it.
Oh, by the way, that what you told me last night about the permanent marker, dude. I don't know. I may have taken it to the extreme, but when but it works really, really damn well. You know, you were telling me to touch up the little piece with permanent marker where you can't get to it, where there might be paint chipping. So what I did was, because you know, on this Black Panther body, the feet and the lower legs and then the arms and the hands are all gray.
Yep.
And so I was going to have to repaint him anyway. So I was like, well, I'm just going to repaint the whole thing because it's a slightly different shade of black than what the Black Panther is. Why is my camera blurry? I don't know. But anyway, so what I did was, before I painted all the gray parts on this dude, I went over them with permanent marker, all the gray parts. After I got out all the ridges and stuff that are on his legs normally and on his arms, I went over it all with black permanent marker, super black. So that way, if for some reason there is any chipping, it'll still be black underneath there.
There you go.
And it worked out really well with this dude. The only thing I really need for him now is just the sheath. I need the sheath for the sword, but I really like this sword. I got this. This is the one from the Revoltech Red Hood.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I like the red sword with snake eyes. So I don't know if I'm going to keep that one or not, but and I got Rye's sword, and I went ahead and did up all his hands. Dude, the what's that? What is that character's name? I know it's not a character, but the army builder from this wave, the Hazut something or other.
Yeah, the Black Panther. So
yeah, I can't remember what the name is. But dude, all his hands work perfectly for Rye. He's got 2 fisted hands, he's got 2 gripping hands, and 2 like claw hands. So I just painted them all up. And the only thing I did was, with one of the trigger hands, I did go ahead and glue the trigger finger down so that it was a sword hand. And because yeah, it worked perfect.
Nice.
So yeah, the only thing I got left to do is give him his 7-Eleven dot on his forehead.
7-Up.
I'm so nervous. I know I'm going to screw it up. I'm like, come this far without screwing anything up. And I'm like, man, that's where I'm going to do it. It's going to be right there, right on his forehead. That's when I'm just going to screw the whole thing up.
Hey, at least you're not having to sand down a finished figure.
That's true, because at least if it's just the head, I can always repaint the head if I need to. It was kind of a pain in the ass, but I can repaint. I wouldn't have to do the whole thing.
Like I'm sanding down all the damn crinkle lines off this damn thing.
Yeah, while I was letting this dude dry last night, because I did the because I was trying to make sure everything was sealed up really good before I finished it, and I was like, you know what, I've been meaning to work, and this freaking Snake Eyes didn't take no time at all. It's a pretty quick, simple custom. Like because I hadn't even started on it when we were talking last night after the chat. And I was like, oh, hey, look, I got a Snake Eyes head. You know what I mean? Like, I hadn't even started on him. I just did him today.
I wasn't going to dip out on you that fast. It's like I hit the wrong button.
Yeah.
Like, oh, shit.
No, I've done that before. I knew exactly what you did because I've done that before.
Well, that's why I keep the mouse away from live streaming most of the time, because that damn back button on a multi-button mouse will kick you out of the stream.
Yeah. I do really like these I like the ninja shoes that Black Panther comes with, man. They work perfect for Snake Eyes.
Alpha Proto is like the permanent marker for the red dot.
Well, maybe, except for the fact that like I've got red dots all over this thing, on all the hands, the feet, the chest. I need the red to be the exact same color of red. So what I'm using is this, what is it, Mr. Color number 3 red. And so I needed I need it to all match.
Yeah,
So I've got to do it with that. And his forehead's just too damn small to make another decal. I didn't make a decal. I made I just took some sticker paper and cut out a circle.
What you might be able to do is, like, instead of using a brush, find something that's round, small.
Maybe I was thinking about that. I was thinking about like maybe a toothpick or something to do the outside lines. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I can freehand it. I mean, I freehanded the ones on all the feet and the hands, but they don't have to be perfect. You know what I mean? They don't have to be perfect circles on the feet and the hands because they're so small. I mean, I'm doing a better job than Hasbro would, but
it wouldn't be centered up with this.
But yeah.
Do you know what this is?
It's a meth inhaler. I don't know what that is.
A hole cutter?
A hole punch.
That's close.
That's for like some industrial size shit.
Will you hit that with a hammer?
You can. They come in any size that you could possibly need to put on his forehead. The edge is typically sharp, and it could give you a little score on the figure.
Oh, like roll it around, touch it, and just roll it and score the edges.
Yeah, just touch it to the figurehead and kind of swivel it back and forth, rotate it back and forth, and then they'll leave you a little mark there for you to follow.
It needs to be about the size. It's about I need a circle about, I'd say 0.25 of an inch, like a little 1/4 inch circle.
Well, it goes all the way down to 1/8. However, if you want to start talking like really small, I can show you the one I use in my sewing. And there's no way you need one that small.
Nah.
Good evening.
Hello.
Well, look who it is.
Late. I have to dock your pay again.
Today was the last of the birthday festivities.
Excuses.
Yeah, get you a leather punch or a hole punch. Cure all your problems.
Oh.
No more complaining. You'd be like, I got a thing for that.
All right. Let's get some. Ragnar Art says he's seen people use a bootleg Amazing Yamaguchi X-Force Deadpool as a base for Snake Eyes.
That'd be a good base.
Yeah.
Snake Eyes is like a fairly, like, let's be honest, Snake Eyes is a fairly easy character to customize.
Oh yeah. Well, that's why they made them. Well, that's why Hasbro made them in the first place. It was like they didn't have the budget to do a full character. They just used parts, leftover parts, and
I mean, as long as you get the head right, like, because look at just the ones in the classified series that Hasbro's done. You know what I mean? Which is different kinds of pants with combat boots. You know, different. There's like 3 different torsos they've used, and then I think they've used 3 heads because they've got the visored head, the goggles head. No, and then they came out with that new goggle head for the new, what is it, desert camo one. So I think they've got 4 heads that they've used for him, 3 upper torsos they've used, and have the pant legs all been the same?
No.
No, they've used different base bodies.
No, and then they also did this. They've got this one too. This is the which one's this one? Which one is this? The one that I can't remember which one that one was.
Was it the retro card? No, that's one with the 2-pack, isn't it? With the wolf.
No, this isn't the one with the 2-pack. The one with the 2-pack is the one I got this head off of.
Well, there's there's 2 2-packs.
Oh, there was another 2-pack? Well,
okay, a white wolf and a gray wolf. There was a white wolf and a gray wolf.
Okay, well maybe then that's this one where he's just solid black, but he's got He's got this. I think he's got the same legs that this one had with Timberwolf, but he's got a different upper torso and a different head.
I think that one uses beachhead parts.
Yeah, he's got the beachhead. He's got the beachhead. I don't know if he's got the whole upper torso. He's certainly got the beachhead arms.
Then
He might have that might be all of Beachhead's upper torso. I'm not sure.
and the retro carded ones using Stalker, I believe, parts.
This is a cool one, but this is probably the closest they've come to old school Snake Eyes from the point of view of they just kit bash this guy in all black. There's not a single other color on him. He's just a giant kit bash in all black.
Christian's asking how I separate the waste pieces. The easiest method I've used is I take a drill bit and drill a hole in the bottom. Big enough to insert, I get a set of snap ring pliers, put it in there, and pop.
I've yet to do that. That's one thing I haven't done yet.
Snap
I tried
ring
it
pliers
once. I completely screwed up the figure.
Yeah, if you don't have snap ring pliers, it's hard.
So you just pop the crotch and then remove it. Yeah. I guess if you don't want to keep the crotch, it's not that big a deal.
Well, I use like green stuff and just fill back the hole up when I put it back together. And I'll paint back over the spot where I drilled.
Yeah. See, I would use JB Weld. I love that stuff, man. That stuff holds.
Fix a crack in the engine block.
Yeah. Well, that's why I keep it around the house because I used to be a service manager for a dealership and all this. So I've worked around mostly ag equipment, but engines and transmission. And so I've always found JB Weld really useful. So when I started customizing, and I was like, I need something to fill a hole. I know, I got tons of JB Weld. Let's try that, and it works.
I was like, it's got a distinct aroma to it too when you.
It totally does too. Yeah, well, even like when I was doing this dude, when I was doing his head, right? So I because of the guy, I shaved his ears off, but then I built up the bumps, with JB Weld because his mask, he's got the whatever. He's got to look like he has ears under there, and I've used JB Weld, and then I put that on yesterday, and then today I came back after it was all set, and I just use the emery boards to file it to the shape I wanted. And just doing it with an emery board, filing it, you just smell. You just smell the JB Weld dust.
When I made a mold while I was here, and my casting ability's not the greatest, but Peter Parker head, you'd already fitted it. Like you put that JB Weld in there. I was like,
yeah.
I started drilling it out to get it to fit. I was like, I know that smell.
Yeah. It's like a mix of glue and gasoline. That's what JB Weld smells like. It's a very unique smell.
Jeffrey Torres is asking, what paint can I use for the new Luke Cage figure? I got the hands from the old box set, and the hands are shaded.
Ooh, the 2-pack Luke Cage.
Yeah.
I would just get as close as you can and repaint the whole arms all the way down to the hands so they're all one color. Because as long as it's close, because the shirt separates the arms from like the neck and the head, you're not really going to notice unless it's drastically different. So get as close as you can and then just do the hands and the arms. Just do a quick, like it doesn't even have to be a full repaint because it's going to be similar in color anyway.
Yeah.
It's just not available to get anymore. What I would use for it is the Tester's burnt sienna, and then apply a wash to it afterwards. That should get pretty damn close. But like I said, that's hard to get now.
I don't think there's like a specific color that's going to match exactly. You're going to have to do some mixing up.
I think my sanding got most of it down pretty good. A lot of that's going to be covered by the jacket anyway. It's a pain in the ass when that shit happens.
Jeffrey says, I don't know if you know anything about tools, but how do you fix the snapping pliers? Because mine can't open.
What? Snapping pliers? Well, why won't you open? Your spring missing? Without seeing them, knowing what the issue is, I can't really say.
Might be rusted shut.
Yeah, I've had I have like a pair of needle nose pliers I keep by the microwave to pull parts out of the hot water, and every now and then I got to oil them up because they rust.
He says his can't open up all the way for some reason.
Spray some oil in there and wiggle them back and forth. See if you can get them to open up. They might just be jammed up.
Try some WD-40 too.
Soak them in vinegar.
There may be
for 3
something.
fucking days.
Yeah.
He says they open just a little.
Yeah,
something stopping them from going up.
I've never run into that. That's weird. Have they always been that way, or it just started happening?
Easy.
Alrighty. Much better.
He says, I think it started happening a few months ago because when I got them secondhand, they were able to open all the way.
I feel like they probably just rusted shut.
Something's happened like that. Something's corroding or something's gotten in there.
Even let it soak in that. You guys have that CLR down in the States?
Oh, yeah.
Just even soak it in that, something like that. Anything rusty or some kind of mineral or whatever, it'll evaporate.
Or you do what I've done many times to rusty old pliers that don't want to open. Put one end in a vise and then take a hammer to the other side and just beat it until it opens up.
Yeah, get the rust loose.
It works.
Snap ring pliers might be a little more difficult to do that too.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true.
I think I got them straightened out now.
I have silicone shock oil. Would that work?
That'll work. Okay. My torso looks good. I got it sanded and primed a few times and nice and smooth. I know I irritate y'all to death with it, but did y'all get a chance to check out the rewrite?
I haven't read it yet. I saw you sent it earlier today, but I haven't read it yet.
No, I haven't read it.
Oh, Hulk, you're going to have to dock your pay again.
Sure, why not?
I had to deal with a thing that came up.
The thing with the thing?
Yeah, thing with Mr. Bill.
What was it? That thing we're thinking the thing, or that thing where we're talking about the thing?
Yeah, right at the beginning.
Yep.
Oh. Not that thing. The other thing.
It's the reason I wasn't my usual early self.
Got you. Yeah, I was wondering if you. It's usually here before I.
I don't mind happy family stuff.
Oh, sorry, Jeffrey's asking, is that a Sunfire mold that you're using for the one guy with the red circle, GeekFusion?
No, this was the Black Panther Paztat Mata Buddha Buddha Buddha.
Yeah, that dude.
Whatever that guy was.
The Hazmat, the White Panther guys.
Yeah, the army builders from that wave. Well, the upper half is. The lower half is Legion from the Age of Apocalypse wave. So depends, yeah. But the upper half is, and then the head that I am oh so nervously painting right now is Professor X. Holy shit! I think I did it.
Ooh. Don't breathe.
I think I did it. Look, it's a shitty picture, but
Oh, nice.
I think I did it.
There you go.
Now I gotta not touch it so it doesn't fuck up.
So, well, you can't do anything else the rest of the night. You gotta hold that way.
Oh shit!
That's why I have these helping hands.
I'm like, oh shit! Don't.
And you can find a link to them down below.
Oh, I went to buy that Vice and it was out of stock.
That sucks.
Let's see. My damn luck. Rearing its ugly head again.
Oh, is that Deadshot you're making?
Bloodshot, you mean? No.
Bloodshot.
Well, Bloodshot's ancestor, or whatever he is. It's related to Bloodshot.
Okay.
So, character of similar design, but more martial arts than Commando.
Yeah. Did you ever read Valiant comics back in the day there, Hulk Smash?
Nope.
No.
He didn't read any comics back.
I'm not really. Yeah, I only.
Yeah, you nerd.
Well, you've heard of Bloodshot. You ever heard of Exo Man of War or Solar Man of the Atom? Or
Yeah, I heard of them.
yeah, so Rye was another one of those characters, and he was a descendant of Bloodshot from the year 4000, when Japan was a giant floating city, and I think wasn't it the only real city left on Earth?
Oh,
And it was a giant floating city with 30 or 40 million people living in it. It was the last civilized place on the planet. And Rye was he originally worked for the AI that ran Japan. And he was like the guardian. And then he realized the AI was crazy, so he started fighting against it. But yeah, I mean, he's Bloodshot's descendant, is what he is.
Okay.
But he's more of like he looks kind of like a kabuki warrior samurai kind of dude.
Yeah.
And he was one of the original Valiant comics characters. It was him, Magnus Robot Fighter, Solar Man of the Atom, Archer and Armstrong, Harbingers.
Torok.
Of
course, Torok
Bloodshot wasn't one of the originals. They made Bloodshot later. Bloodshot came out after about a year or two.
Of course, later on, I found out too, like they never owned Solar, Magnus, or Torok.
No, Gold Key did.
Yep.
Gold Key owned all
And
those
they've been
things.
around since 1962.
Yeah, no, I had a bunch of old Solar and Magnus Gold Key stuff. I never had any of the Turok stuff, but I had actually already collected Magnus and Solar Gold Key comics from back in the 60s. So I knew who those characters were when Jim Shooter started Valiant and said he was going to be doing these characters. I was like, oh, I know them. And so I already like had an attachment to those characters. Rye, I think, was brand new. Rye was a new creation. Exo Manowar was a new creation. Harbingers and Archer and Armstrong were a new creation. The ones they took was Magnus, Dr. Solar, or Solar Man of the Atom, whatever you want to call him, and Turok. Those were the three from Gold Key that they
Gold Key, his original name was Dr. Solar, I think.
Yeah, it was Dr. Solar back in Gold Key, and then they just made him Solar Man of the Atom. But yeah, when I read Gold Key, he was Dr. Solar. But yeah, out of all the companies that came out and tried to create their own little universes to try and do what Marvel and DC had done, my favorite's always been Valiant. I think Valiant did a great job. I think they went off track after a few years and got too caught up in the chromium cover, hologram cover BS of the 90s and trying to create new characters every issue. And they got wrapped up in that stuff. But where they started, which was in like 91 or 92, those first like 3 years or so of writing stories were fantastic. Especially like, Exo Manowar was awesome. I love that character. I mean, you basically take a Stone Age barbarian and give him an alien Iron Man suit. That's just a cool concept.
Yeah, you basically give Conan technology.
Yeah, you give Conan technology and then drop him back off on Earth 6,000 years after aliens kidnapped him because for some reason, and I don't remember why, but he didn't age while he was a slave of the aliens. And then he comes back and he gets uber rich, like Bruce Wayne rich, but he's ultimately still basically a caveman type dude with an alien powered Iron Man suit. It was a conglomeration of a lot of different stuff, but it worked so well together.
And the suit was clearly inspired by the Guyver.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
even in its dormant mode, looks like a dormant Guyver suit. It's a bio armor.
Yep,
just like the Guyver.
It was great. I loved Valiant Comics. My favorites were I liked Ryan Magnus because they took place in the future.
Yeah,
which I like the more sci-fi elements of those. And then I loved Exo Manowar. Solar was okay, but I honestly thought the Gold Key comics were better. But he got better. Bloodshot never really, like, I know they put him in the comics because like they wanted to create a new character that they owned and tie him to Rye and all this stuff, and he had some cool storylines, but I never really got that much into him. Archer and Armstrong was great. Harbingers was kind of sort of their version of X-Men in a weird way, sort of. But they weren't mutants or anything, but like still it's like, people on the run from the government, who have powers and stuff like that. And they did a lot of cool stuff. And then, then we got characters that started coming out of the woodworks. And then that's when they jumped the shark in the 90s after about 3 or 4 years. And they started like, let's create 100 new characters and do big crossovers. And everything's got a chromium hologram cover. And just like a lot of stuff in that era of the 90s where it's just like all, it's all flash, no substance for a while there. Mm-hmm. I think that was their downfall.
Jeffrey's asked
you still see stockpiles of those Deathmate crossovers.
Oh yeah, oh god,
Image and Valiant crossover.
Yep. And I thought Valiant was way better than Image. Image like
focused on the art and their artist, not so much on the writing.
Yes. And when Valiant first came along, it heavily focused on the writing.
Yeah.
And it all felt like one cohesive universe. whereas Image never did. Image, like you had Wildcats felt like they were in their own universe, and Youngblood felt like they were in their own universe, and Supreme
Spawn
felt like he was in his own. Yeah, Spawn was in his own universe. Savage Dragon was in his own universe, and even when they would cross over, it didn't feel right. Like it felt like it was forced because it felt like it felt like shoving Superman and Iron Man in a comic together, right?
Both Valiant and Malibu did so much better with creating their own universe.
They totally did.
Image did.
Oh yeah. Image didn't do. I mean, honestly, Image was a great thing, and I loved Image. And Image did some awesome stuff, and I liked
really
a lot of stuff they did.
Image is still around.
Oh yeah.
And
I think Image became better though when they started like just saying, hey, let's just bring people in and have people just do the stories they want to do, and you started getting stuff, whether it was Walking Dead or Chew or whatever, and you were getting some really, really cool, innovative, independent books that were being published. That's where Image really started to shine, is when they dropped the whole,
shared
artistic, what's Todd McFarlane and Rob Liefeld going to draw today bullshit, and just let some people do some cool books.
And I know they did the thing too, a lot of things where this artist is really hot, let's have him draw and write the book.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, some artists can write. My experience, most of them cannot. Not anymore. Maybe back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s when there were the writers were the ones drawing because there wasn't an option. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
By the 80s, no. You let Todd McFarlane draw, and how about we let Chris Claremont write the story or whatever? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I find a lot of those independent companies, other than Valiant and Malibu, they kind of copied other characters from the big guys.
Image was really bad for that.
Yeah, Image had
everybody would use so many different characters pop up with Wolverine hair or whatever, and copied after Hulk or
Iron Man or Captain America. It's they had that was bad though. Valiant and Malibu never really did that. They actually created their own characters.
Yeah.
Didn't Valiant came back eventually though, right? They just didn't have all their characters, because I remember walking into a comic shop a few years ago and seeing new Exo Manowar stuff.
Yeah, they got the characters they created themselves, but they don't have the Gold Key characters anymore.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I'm okay. Exo Manowar could, you could do a lot with him. You could do a lot with Bloodshot. You can do a lot with Rye.
Mm-hmm.
You can certainly do a lot with those characters.
Problem is, though, when they come back, they hired a lot of the shitty people from Marvel.
Oh, God.
That horrible editor that Marvel had, Heather Antos, she's like a high-level position in Valiant. She's the one that made Gwenpool and made her like a self-insert character. Or wrote her or whatever. But her editing is non-existent. That's the issue you see in modern comics. But they say they have editors, but their writing is terrible, their grammar is terrible. What are you hiring editors for?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I think the proof is in the late 70s to the early 90s. I think the greatest comic book editor ever, despite the fact that I've heard a lot of people who worked for him say he was an asshole, I think Jim Shooter was probably the greatest comic book editor ever. You saw what he did for Marvel when he took over. Remember when he took over, the X-Men were just doing the X-Men books were just retelling the stories from X-Men 1 through 30.
Well, did you see that recent interview with him?
Oh yeah, where he's trashing. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't know what business they're in. They don't want to. People don't want to read propaganda, which is 100% right.
Yep.
Alpha Proto says Chris Bachalo created Gwenpool, but he did he did base her on Heather R. Antos.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The character looks like her, so. But yeah, Heather Antos is a horrible person. Should never be working in the comic book industry, but keeps getting hired in the comic book industry.
Jeffrey just had a question.
Fell upwards. That's a modern comic industry. Fell upwards. I'm sorry. Well, I'll ask Queen Shining Knight from DC because I saw the Shining Knight is a woman. If so, who is the second Shining Knight? I have no idea.
McFarlane Shining Knight? I don't even know who that is.
There's a new Shining Knight figure come out from McFarlane DC Multiverse, and I was like, when I saw it, I was like, why is Shining Knight a chick?
I don't even know who Shining Knight is. I don't even know who that character is.
He wore like a gold armor and like a magical sword.
This does not feel like a well-known DC character to me.
He's kind of obscure. He was in episode 2 of Justice League Unlimited.
Okay, then I've probably seen him. I mean, maybe if I saw a picture of the dude, I'd recognize him. But
he's just a regular human, but he wears armor, and I think his sword is enchanted.
Alpha says he was simping for Heather Antos.
That sounds about right.
What you working on, Don?
A shirt that doesn't want to cooperate.
Is that a Mythic Legion's dragon figure?
Yeah. The green one, I think the green one is the Cosmic Legions, huh?
I have no idea. I don't know anything about Mythic Legions. I know Mythic Legions fans love them.
That's what's important.
Which is great. I like to see toy smaller companies like succeed. How's your paint drying?
Oh man.
All right, I'll be right back.
I should be working on Mr. Fancy Pants.
Fancy pants.
But yeah, I made a pair of pants for him and they came out crazy good. Perfectly good.
Yeah.
But I finished up the bottom half of the suit on the dragon. And I thought, I just make the top half of that thing real quick, like blah, blah, blah. Wrong.
Did you get any notifications for your Hulkbuster?
No, but I went in and looked at it and it's telling me Thursday.
Because people are
So I'm
starting to
assuming it'll notify me once it ships.
Yeah. Where'd you order it from? Did you order it from Amazon or Hasbro?
Amazon.
I don't know if those dates are correct with all those shipping updates.
Yeah.
So sometimes Amazon does that. It's like, oh, you got this coming. It's like, oh, just kidding. Be like the day of, should arrive by 8 o'clock tonight. It's like, nah. Then the next day, it's like, oh, it'll be next month.
I'm still shocked I got my Odin so quick.
Yeah, my Odin's saying it's supposed to be this week too.
I didn't order Hulkbuster.
Oh, but you ordered Odin, huh?
Yeah, I got two MCU Hulkbusters though. I kind of want the Hulkbuster, but I don't know. I'll probably wait for him to be like on full release on Amazon. That way I can use a gift card that I already have online. So I'll get him for cheaper.
How much time do I got left? I have enough time to start this over again.
Well, I finished up watching Transformers 1.
Oh yeah, and
How was it?
Loved it. Now, the only annoying part I find in it is they do in every fucking movie anymore. Made Alita want a girl boss. That was the only annoying part about the movie. But other than that, it's a fantastic movie. And she's not to an annoying level girl boss.
Is that the Scarlett Johansson character?
Yeah. I don't know why they couldn't just call her Ariel before she gets her cog. Because in the original cartoon, her name was Ariel before she got rebuilt into Alita. We got Orion Pax keeping his original name before he became Optimus. Well, we couldn't have, and D13. He doesn't take the name Megatron until later. So it'd been cool if they could have done that with Alita too.
Did you find one with good quality?
Well, it's right now it's kind of shitty quality.
Yeah, I'll probably wait a week or so.
Yeah, it's good enough where I'm gonna watch it in the theater too.
I was actually shocked that Deadpool and Wolverine, the opening weekend, was like, it was good quality
Really,
already.
Yeah, it is already good quality. On the website.
I saw a guy walk by one time, and after that, it was all good quality.
And it's one of the annoying cams too, where you got the slot advertisements. Every now and then you get a Transformers 1. I was going to go see it in the theater, and Regal screwed up. Guy I know, he's got like a Regal accounts for him and his wife and his daughter. Yeah, he messaged me. He's like, "Hey, you want to go see Transformers 1? It's the one being the local theater here." Like, I looked up the website and said, "Yep, it's going to be there Saturday." Yeah, sure. Let's see it. I've been wanting to see it. Get there, it's not playing. He had already bought the tickets for it, but it's not there. It's in the next city over, which is like 35, 40 minutes away. And it's already 5 o'clock when the movie's supposed to start. It's like, you shitbags. Well, they changed their website within 24 hours and it wasn't there.
Wow.
So I ended up watching it on the website last night.
Oh, nice. Okay, I know this character. I've seen him.
That looks
Hang on,
great.
let me give you a solo here. It does look good. You're on mute, Matt.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Matt.
You know, it helps if I unmute myself when I'm talking. Son of a bitch. Finally got him done. He's finished. I'm going to put him away, make sure everything seals and dries up overnight before I do anything else with him.
I got this snake eyes I'm working on.
That looks so cool.
That rose head works so good for commando snake eyes.
Yep.
What else are you going to use it for?
Yeah. Reuse the parts I got. I'm not going to use the rose. I use the rose body to upgrade Mr. Negative, so. I need to wash my hands. I don't use mill putt very often, and I want to try it out. I use it on the Wonder Woman head for Gary.
Alpha Proto's asking, is the head not dry?
No, which is why I just put it on, so that way I don't have to hold it. So that's the easiest place to put it is on the figure. And I'm just setting him aside and letting everything dry up. I had already sealed the figure. I didn't want to hit the red dots with sealant because it kind of dulls it a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
So I want the red dots to be bright. And so everything else is the rest of the thing's already sealed. It's already been sealed up and I already got my coating on there. So it's just the red dots are the only thing I'm worried about. So, which is the rest of them should be dry already. Although the chest one I just did here a few hours ago. So I'm going to leave that one. But yeah, that one in the head, we're going to leave that out. And then I'm going to put him next to that solar you made.
Knees and toes.
Man, I really like that guy's recipe for Magnus, but man, that's an expensive recipe.
I know. I was looking at mine and I was like, man, can I pimp it out a little bit now? Because that's like, compared to your solar, my Magnus sucks ass. And now, compared to this rye, my Magnus sucks ass. So I'm like, I got to do something with that Magnus.
The boot, or another set of boots I like to look up for Magnus is long shots.
Yeah.
Yes, totally could work. We got Mad Marauder Sarge. Ooh. Man, I wish I could put that kind of this amount of paint detail on the first one. Come on. This cover stayed on the tray. They even updated the little mini action figure to be in the Mad Marauders style. You got American flag on this one. The boots are actually better painted on this one than on the first release. The first release was missing a lot of paint on the boots.
Ah, damn it. The red sword looks better with him too. They're both going to get a red sword. Fortunately, I had two of them.
So what I'm tempted to do is take one of these Mad Marauder packagings and put the original Slaughter. I picked up an extra one from Ollie's, open it up and put it in that packaging so you can actually see him. His original color scheme.
Yeah. It sucks in a friggin' windowless package.
Yep. One of my most anticipated characters at the time, and they started the Windows packaging. Because Sarge is what really got me into. I watched G.I. Joe when I watched Transformers, and every now and then I watched G.I. Joe. But when Sarge came in along, I watched it every day. Because Sarge was a super soldier.
That one episode where he took on about 50 bats.
That was the introduction episode. The G.I.
Yeah.
Joes were getting their asses handed to them by the bats. And Sarge come in there and start ripping robots apart.
Alpha's asking, is that red katana? The red katana is the Muramas blade?
Oh, Wolverine sword? No. This is the blade from the Revoltech Red Hood. So I had two of them because with the Revoltech Red Hood, you can set one up to look like Red Hood and one to look like Arkham Knight. But he comes with the accessories for both. So I've got one set up like Arkham Knight. So he comes with twin, whatever these red blades are. I don't know what he calls them. But Red Hood has two red blades, and so since I've got one of them set up as Arkham Knight, I've got all his accessories. So that's what these are. Just Red Hoods, whatever he calls those swords. Which I don't know. He doesn't even have those swords in the comics, does he? I think that's just a Revoltech thing.
I think so.
But they're cool looking, whatever they are. The Muramasa sword, that's Wolverine's sword, right? That's the one Wolverine used after he... Was that the one he used when he died and came back or something like that?
Well, those are swords. It's a metal that inhibits like the healing factors on people with healing factors. It's a MacGuffin sword for the fight other people with...
for some reason, I remember Wolverine had one of those at some point, right? Maybe? Yeah. I don't know.
What is causing interference now to keep you from going back together? Right.
Alpha says that the red blade sword made from Logan's blood, he used it to kill Saber.
He's killed Sabretooth 15 times. He just killed Sabretooth again after Sabretooth killed Dakin and other more of Wolverine's children.
The Sergeant Slaughter is what the robot based the training for Magnus, the robot fighter.
I don't think so. The robots from Magnus Robot Fighter were like they all look different. Like it was because Magnus came from he was a little bit after Rye. He was like in the year 4000 something, and Rye was in 4000. At some point, their timelines crossed, but like the rest of the Earth besides Japan was run by robots, and Magnus was like the hero of the humans. He was raised by a robot. He was raised by an AI that trained him to destroy other robots. And they had basically, it was very Terminator. They had kind of enslaved humanity, and humanity was living in little clusters all over the world, like nomads and shit. And Magnus was like the savior or whatever, fighting robots. He could, I don't know how, he was supposed to just be a normal human, I think, if I remember right. It's been a long time since I read him. But yet he could punch through robots somehow. I don't know, like Iron Fist or something.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Yeah, exactly. I don't remember. I'm sure they explained it in the storyline how he was able to do that, but like he could like punch through robots and shit. I just don't remember how they managed it. It had something to do with how he was trained and how he was raised by this one robot.
Yeah,
And then I think we found out later that Magnus is actually he was somebody else's from the Valiant Universe's son that got taken into the future and raised there. And I forget whose son he actually is. Like one of the other characters. Like maybe one of the like a couple of the characters from the Harbingers or something. I can't remember what it was, but he's somebody's son.
Him was saying that robot learned that water.
Oh, that robot? Yeah, probably.
Jonathan May Sr. says, dude, you're having so much trouble putting that yellow chest back together.
It's sometimes when you take them apart, the plastic gets bent, and the glue causes excess buildup too when you try to put it back together. So I just want to go back to seamlessly before I paint it. So I'm doing all the fitting and fixing before I paint. That is close right there.
Name withheld says he had the strength to rip steel.
Yeah. I just don't remember why. It may have had something to do with whoever his parents were. Guys, well, I got to cut out. I got to go take care of some stuff before I got to head to bed here in a couple hours.
That sounds like quitter talk.
It is quitter talk. This is my 9th chat this week.
Only 9. I mean, we need to end this one, start another one, so you can have an even 10.
Just an even 10 for the week? Yeah. God damn. No, that's okay.
All right, well, look it up, Magnus Robot Fighter, right quick, so we can find out.
Yeah, look up who his parents are. I can't remember his parents are somebody from the Valiant Universe, and then he got taken into the future, and I don't remember, something like that.
So yeah, it's exciting about Hulkbuster.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait.
Powers and abilities, they're saying he's superhuman strength, super durability. Extensive martial arts training, special implants allow Magnus to secretly receive and translate communications between robots. Character evolution. Over the years, Magnus remained relatively the same character, but some aspects and concepts vary in each publisher. The Valiant Universe, Magnus was part of a group called the Freedom Force, and read the Malevolence was his parents. I've heard exactly what you're talking about.
In Valiant, this wasn't his origin from Gold Key, but in Valiant, his parents were Chris Hathaway and Torque, who were Harbingers. Yeah. They were part of the team of Harbingers, which is where he got his agility and strength from, was his parents. So he was basically a Harbinger. He was basically a mutant. In Valiant. I don't know about Gold Key, though.
Yeah, superhuman strength and superhuman durability. It makes sense why he can tear apart robots.
Yeah.
And I remember watching something other. There was like a special martial art. People learn like to fight robots. Transformers Metal Akito was one of them, but something else I read where somebody learned a special or watched. They knew a special martial arts for fighting robots. I can't remember what it was.
All right. Well, hasta luego, gentlemen.
Have a good night, sir.
See y'all later.
Have a good day. Let's see. I think I need to trim off some of this. Oh, Mr. Don,
Yeah, I'm here.
I sent you a package the other Friday, so you'll get it this week. It's got one of these look cages in there for trench coat measurements.
Trench coat measurements.
And I sent you one of those atom bodies.
For gray suits.
Mm-hmm. And just for the heck of it, I sent you a Hercules just for you can have your dummy.
What was the Hercules for?
Originally for the trench coat, because they're about the same size as the look cage. I don't need the Herc back. You can use it as a dummy as much as you want to.
Interesting.
So I figured it might be neat for the base for you to try stuff on.
My poor shelf over there. They don't even have a shelf anymore.
It's about there where it closes up good.
It's just a bunch of random ass figure shelves. Oh, let me glue this. There's a piece of wire. Let me put the free stuff on this before I forget.
Jonathan Mace. Yeah, that's the Luke Cage body, the yellow, the newer one.
Yep. Yep. As Luke Cage, I'd show you like a complete one, but I mailed it to Dawn. Paint job on the most of the body is pretty basic. It's all going to be black. I paint the arms and eventually get a new head for it. And I'll have a trench coat.
You said black?
Yes.
Nick.
He's the guy with the skull-like face. The skull face.
Paint. Oh.
Well,
Jonathan May is asking who it's going to be. It's one of the original characters.
I'll show a picture. Making this dude. That is one of my original characters that I made up.
How about them Yankees? Goodness.
Now, I think I can go glue it like that, then push it together. I got enough clearance. How tall? It's like the character would be like around 610. I got another one on.
I promised the wife I'd be out of here by 9:30.
It is 9:30. We don't want you to be a liar, sir. You gotta go.
When I told her, she already called me a liar. Right then and there on the spot.
Well, then go on, get prove her wrong.
I'm trying. I gotta see about these shoulders. These shirts. Holy shit!
That sounds like a delay.
Well, something's wrong. And I hope it's the sleeves and not the shirt.
Yeah, sometimes when you crack a torso, like the glue buildup from between the seams causes like a interference. It's a when you try to put it back together, so you got to send it down.
Daisy.
Certain, depending on like what day of the week and who you got that put the figure together, is how much glue they use to put it back together at the factory. Sometimes they use a little bit of glue. Sometimes they forget the glue.
Well,
Oh, it's almost right there. There, push it together. I am so close to being back to being a closed seam.
it's the sleeve, not the shirt. So we're grateful.
Hmm.
Mr. Fancy Pants is grateful.
Mr. Fancy Pants.
See, that is a significant amount, especially this small. It occurs to me I'm below 6 inch. I only said I'd never do anything smaller than 6 inches, but yet here we are. Quarter of an inch too long. I think we're just going to adopt it. But I got to get out of here, guys. You know.
Go on, get.
4 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
Go now, get. Have a good night, guys.
Good
Have a
night.
good night, sir.
Stop in.
Always a pleasure, sir.
Later.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
There.
You order a Hulkbuster too?
Yep.
Nice.
I got it for like $10 cheaper too. Where I do those affiliate link stuff,
Yeah.
I get like I get a coupon stuff for the Amazon. they'll put that toward it.
Yeah, I'm still on the fence.
Oh, so close. Man, something is still blocking it. Where we got? I think it's this one. Okay, that. I think that's about as good as I'm gonna get. When it pulled apart, it probably twisted the plastic a little bit. So I got pretty damn close, and I can use just green stuff to get the rest of the way.
Yeah.
So the neck piece goes in here. And that one here.
Jonathan said, I'm working the night shift at the plant right now, just sitting in my truck, so I'll be up until 8 a.m.
Whew. It's a long time to be up. So that's gonna be, this goes back together.
That'll also be hidden by the jacket too, right?
Oh yeah, it's. I'm just. I know it's there.
Yeah, I know. I know that about you. No way.
I think I need to grind this down a little bit. Oh. 7/12s. 7/12s. Are you talking about 7 12-hour shifts? I'm hoping it's 7 on and off a lot too.
Yeah.
Dude.
7 days, 12-hour days.
Whew, man. I don't know how you do that. Let's see. That goes in now.
You get used to it after a while, and the money's good.
Well, that's good. All right, now we got a good scene, good right there. That's pretty good. What I'll have to do is glue it in stages, do it like from start at the top, then glue down the bottom. Right. Okay. Check on our range torso. That looks a lot better after the sanding and repainting. I got pretty well all flattened back out.
That looks really good.
Which this will be on it too, so I'll just let this set up overnight. That Pro Acrylic paint, I know certain colors takes longer to dry, so I'm going to let this set, and I'll hit it with some dull coat tomorrow, and not use my automotive clear on it. Hopefully the dull coat will be won't react.
Jonathan says I'd rather be doing what y'all are doing.
It's a fun hobby. Oh. We grown up at the same time.
Yeah, just.
Yeah, unfortunately, when they put this torso together, the only way to get the butterfly joints out, you have to crack the torso.
Yeah, that's weird.
Because these mushroom pegs are so big, even if you heat them up, they won't pull through.
No, you end up breaking them.
Yep. But it was nice they put the top peg back in. With Vulcan, they took the top pegs out.
That's why it's limited movement, right?
Well, that's why if you cut the pegs, like people are doing to give it more range of movement,
Yeah,
they get floppy joints.
yeah.
because the peg goes into this slot right here. Here.
Yeah.
On the Vulcan, if you take that, cut that, that's gonna. On this one, it's not clipping in, but on Vulcan, that actually clips into the slot. So when you cut that, the joint gets loose and floppy.
I'd rather have the limited motion movement than have it floppy.
Yep. So now you can actually, when I'll take them out, I can be able to paint them fully.
Yeah.
It's gonna look good. So here's I had a gap here where I pried it apart. I use that green stuff and just fill it in the gap. So you can't even see it once it's repainted over top of. So that's what I'll do up here at top too. I'll put a little bit of green stuff in here in the seam. I'm going to do that here in a minute. So just go ahead and put it together where it's, once it dries, it'll I don't know, maybe. Let's go ahead and just take this out. So I got a pretty close seam now. What is causing this to bind?
Are you gonna paint the parts before you put it together?
Oh yeah. That's the whole point of taking her apart. This has got to be like a pale white skin type piece. Ghostly like.
Yeah,
Oh, there we go. Okay, you got to plug this piece in before you put it together. I think that's what's got. Yep, that's it. You got to plug the back piece in first before you put the torso back together.
Oh.
Then I can glue. When I glue that, then I can come down here and glue this seam. Cool. Yeah, this slot here is in the Vulcans. Like I said, that snaps in.
Yeah.
When you cut that, yeah, it will give you a lot more range of movement, but at what cost?
Yeah, I know. It's gonna flop his arms around every time you move them.
Yeah. And when what we'll do though, while this is apart, I'm going to make that slot longer.
I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm. I've messed up quite a few things learning over the years. It's like you got so many people out there doing tutorial videos like online. These tell everybody like, just cut your pegs on the Vulcan, you get more range of movement. It's like, no, don't do that. Well, that's interesting. So when you pull apart, yeah, when I did my solar, I took the butterfly joints out. There's a similar situation with the butterfly joints on Vulcan. When these are put together, the right side, they put the butterfly in, glue around then put it together, where it's hard to get these out. Well, technically, it's actually easy to get them out. To get them back in is the tricky part. These, it's hard, you can't even get them out once you heat them. With the Vulcan, so the hole that the mustering peg goes around, you can actually make that bigger. Then reheat the butterfly joints and take it like a flat tool and just push it back down into the hole around the mushroom peg. But these, there's no way to do that. They made the mushroom pegs way too big, but at least they got the pegs up top. They do those long pegs on basically about everything anymore. The G.I. Joes have them. Look at that slot system. Some are like mechanical, where they snap in like the Vulcan. Other ones are like this, where it's just a channel they move in. So by lengthening that, you get more range. So open it quite a bit. That goes back in first. You plug the back neck piece in, and you slide this in. And that's how it goes back together. You glue the seam up top. You pry it open. Then after it dries, you can work the ab piece back in through the slot. Same with the butterflies. I put the butterflies in before you glue it, the top. But the ab section can be slid in from the bottom before you glue it back.
I heard you mention about people on YouTube channels saying about cutting the peg on
Oh yeah.
all that. You know, like, I mean, anybody can start their own YouTube channel. Like, I mean, do what you like, but I mean,
well, it's like some of the big channels tell you that stuff too. It's like,
oh, I know, but what I'm saying is a lot of these guys who start YouTube channels, and even the big guys, like, I mean, I've seen it too. Like, they if you're gonna give information about stuff, like, gotta make sure it's accurate. And if you're gonna do reviews on characters and stuff like that, I notice a lot of these guys they don't have no idea who the characters are. and they don't like look into it before, and they try to give you information about the character. It's like, you know, if you're gonna do a review on a character and you don't know the character, at least look the character up before you do it. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I'm guilty of that too. But I buy something that looks cool, and I don't try to give information about the character if I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's the difference. And I've heard some pretty bad customizing information too on different channels. Like, some things work, some things don't. Some people have different ways of doing stuff, but then there are just ways that are totally wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Bob's started a channel. All it has is a test. I was going to make it about Ben, the guy in my thumbnail picture.
Yeah, cool.
It was just going to be a joke. I don't know. Did you get the about the Mongol figure? Did you get that comment yet, or while I was gone?
Where was it?
It says after the Vulcan. Okay, you talked about Vulcan. So since Collect Express, I found what I'm going to use for a Mongol.
Mhm.
After last time, you stated that Mongol should be huge. Yes, it should. I
Yep.
went and bought Marvel Diamond Select Disney Smart Hulk. That's a good size.
Yes,
About 9 inches. Yeah.
that's good because he is
Yeah.
a monster in the comics.
Yeah, he's huge. Bigger than Darkseid too, right?
Oh yeah, he's like
Well, I guess it depends who's drawing, but yeah. Yeah, Mongol. Says he's got the Mezco Darkseid. It's a nice Darkseid. Man, that thing is pricey. Yeah, best Darkseid figure in my opinion. I think it's a lot better than the Storm Collectibles. That's for damn sure.
yeah. Storm Collectibles is that Injustice style.
Picked it up for $100. That's a pretty good deal.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? I've seen people remove the cape from the McFarlane Darkseid.
Yeah, it helps it a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know why you gave it the cape.
because of that superpowers
Figure.
yeah. I don't know, and like, I mean, if the cape was removable, it would be good. But you made the cape not removable.
Yeah, he put a hole in the chest.
Yeah, so unless you know how to fix that up a little bit, I mean, I'll give McFarlane that. He made a classic looking Darkseid. It does.
I like the Omega Beam head.
Yeah,
Love that, and it looked great.
just he makes these stupid decisions. Like, I mean, why would you make it so that people, if they take off the cape,
So we can make another one later on to buy that one.
Yeah.
That's what he makes all his decisions for, so he can buy his toys.
Yeah. The reviews on that Darkseid have been bad, at least.
Well, it's got the Mongol arms, which are horrible.
Oh, they're short, eh?
They're like little wimpy arms. He made a good size Mongol, but he gave him tiny arms.
I wonder what. Did you replace your arms with?
Well, I just swapped them out. I haven't done anything to them yet. They need to be resculpted and painted. I put Solomon Grundy arms on it.
Yeah.
Which Grundy's a tiny figure.
And you got those big arms.
Yeah.
Bob says I like the Omega beams on the Beast King. That Beast Kingdom figures are like a whole different breed.
Yeah. This is the reason why I took this apart, so I can go in here and get it in and paint everything black. So I don't have any yellow one showing once it's all done.
Yeah.
I don't want this to look like it's ever was yellow.
I'm in no rush to buy that McFarlane Dark Side anyway, so.
People were hot for it. It sold out when the first initial pre-order sold out.
Yeah, if I don't get it, it's not like I'm going to lose sleep. We all know he's going to release it again, so.
He'll probably release it without a cape next time.
Yeah. Trying to think now who I could. If there's anyone else I could swap arms with on the Mongol. I haven't opened my Mongol yet, but I could tell from the package it's got short arms. And of course, Mongol's one of the figures where he cut out the bicep swivel, right?
Yep.
Cool.
And my arms are crooked too.
I wonder if KO Juggernaut arms would fit in there.
Possibly. We'll find out.
I got an extra Juggernaut that I used the boots from. Bob says the only issue I have with that Hulk figure is the bare feet.
Yeah. The KO Juggernaut uses the Hulk body. I'm sorry. The Diamond Select Hulk. Yeah. Bare feet.
He says, I think the easiest path would be to sculpt boots onto the feet. Well, if it's got what's it called, the ankle pivots, maybe KO Juggernaut boots would fit on those ankles too. If you want to have a boot look. Jonathan Mace, I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good night, man.
Have a good night, sir. For my paint thinner.
Yes, when we say KO, it's a knockoff. AliExpress has knockoff Juggernauts and Hulk figures that are very, very good quality. Like, I mean, you wouldn't even realize they were knockoffs.
Well, there's the torso from the Juggernaut.
Yeah.
What's our time? 2:05.
Are they ML or MS? They're Marvel Legends. They're all based off the 80th anniversary Hulk figure. But the pegs are different though. And these figures are easy to take apart. They actually have once you pop off the torso stuff, you notice you can unscrew the all the parts.
Okay, we got him here. These are the arms from the Solomon Grundy, which they are the same as Mongols, but you got the scars sculpted into the arms, which I hate for the fact they did that because Grundy's not a Frankenstein. He don't have that.
Why would they? Yeah, why did they do that for?
So I got to sculpt over, basically like trim off the staples, the stitching, and resculpt to match it over. But his height wise, he's good. His feet are tiny. I don't know why he didn't make them bulky, but for these arms, yeah, you could do that.
Not too short.
Yeah, they might be a tad short. Of course, you always got the option to just make a Mongol on a Juggernaut.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah, the only issue you got with this, you don't have they didn't do the cup system like they normally do. So, and you got lumber pegs on these Grundy arms, so you got a little bit of a gappage there.
So they didn't include those floaty things?
Not on this one.
Wow. The Imithot says those are probably the same arms on the Frankenstein figure. Probably.
I wouldn't doubt it. I think Frankenstein was. Is he bare sleeves? Could be. I don't know. He does a lot of reuse in weird situations. Yeah, his arms were freaking tiny.
All about perspective.
Yeah.
If you move his arm in a way that it doesn't look short, it won't be short. But
Yeah. Exactly.
all you got to do is move the arm, or bring the arm closer to you, and the arm will look bigger.
Exactly.
That's how you solve the problem.
Mm-hmm.
All about perspective. Pop says that's what I tell my wife all the time. Hey, that's between y'all, right? Oh man.
Okay.
That's some nice coverage.
That's it, Mr. Color. That's it, lacquer. I need to get some more of this. I'm about out. Whew, this stuff's strong. Said, if you get into buying Mr. Color lacquers, just buy one bottle at first. Don't go overboard, because some people can have allergic reactions to this stuff. Like I mentioned earlier, Corey from Casting Cave, he can't use this stuff. Which is a shame, because it's the most durable hobby paint out there. Did print out some filigree parts on a printer. Move them to the boots.
That worked out, eh?
Yep. I need one more piece to go down here. I dropped it. I have no idea where it went to because it's so damn small. I need to print some more of them. So I'm going to do the other boot. And I got the print another skull, same height. I mean, a little bit wider though.
Yeah, that's the jawless one, right?
Yeah, that goes on the belt.
Bob's asking, did you order those from a website, or did your buddy do that?
Oh, the filigree parts. I went to Colt 3D and I just typed in filigree, and these popped up. And so they're meant to be printed much bigger, of course. I just scaled them down and to teeny tiny. Same with the skull. And something, it's simple shapes like that I should be able to find. I don't like to bother him. He's got a lot going on right now too. So that worked out. I need to see about getting some of these cast.
Yeah.
Because that'll work for a Supreme head too.
That's amazing, man. That came out really good with the different hair.
Yep, the
Peter Parker.
I got Gary's Wonder Woman head fitted. Canon was able to fix the ears on the file, and they'll print it.
Oh, he's putting her on this body here.
Yep. So I'm gonna paint this up to match and get ready for Gary. I just gotta let that milliput dry on the top of the head. I don't know why my printers start printing a hole on top of certain things.
Oh, yeah, I remember you mentioned that before.
It just leaves a tiny little hole in the top when it prints.
I gotta try to track down that Power Princess, man.
I need to get all your stuff together and get ready to mail out. So these go in there.
Yeah. I gotta get myself a KO Venom. Hey, maybe two.
Yeah.
Why not?
They're like $15. So.
Yeah.
So they're pretty affordable. Oh, there's the. Oh. Where I put you at? That's the Karen Rogers head. Where did I put?
Bob says he found a Hulkhead STL that he's going to make, going to use for a Mongol.
Oh, sweet.
There's some nice Hulk STLs out there.
Trying to find where I laid that Red Skull torso.
Ooh, $15. What a ripoff. When these companies going to lear, when are these companies going to learn?
It's not a bad looking head either. It's from the Karen Rogers. Where is the head I'm using? It's here somewhere.
That's the Pym?
No, that's Pym hair, but it's the Karen Rogers head. different hit with different hair.
Karen Rogers?
Well, it's the Commander Rogers, and it had the Karen haircut.
You had me confused for a second. I had a feeling. I was like, what? Who the hell's Karen Rogers? Oh, jeez.
Karen Rogers. It looks just like a Karen.
Yeah. Oh,
like, why would you? What was funny, they based it off fan art. It's not actual real art, from a comic. Well, it's real art, but it's not official art.
Yeah.
So that's weird. Looking for the head I'm using, I was like, where to put it? Looking for the hairpiece, so we'll see if it fits his head. Rage. We got these really cool Jack Nicholson Joker head that Duke Hazard sent me.
Nice.
That's who I'm going to ask about doing the casting that head. See if he'd do it for me.
SDH in the house. He says family.
Family, 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 family.
Hello, sir.
Look and see if I'll find it. I've stuck it somewhere. It's got to be here somewhere. I was probably looking over it like 5 times.
Hello, Hulk. Is it which head are you looking for?
The head I'm using for Solarian, my original character.
Oh. Didn't he just put it on the camera?
No, that's different. That's Karen Rogers.
No, the other one. You said you got to get it casted, and you put it to
No,
the camera.
that's lore.
Oh, okay. Solarian's the
You got to keep the Solarian's like the villain.
Yeah, the Pym head with the doesn't he got Peter Parker hair too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Actual Peter Parker hair, not just a casting of the hair.
Yeah. Yeah, that Pym head worked out for him really nicely.
Yeah. I've laid it somewhere. I just gotta find it. Anyway, we're past the 2-hour mark. What the hell? Somebody just shoved Jonah Jameson off the shelf. He is an asshole.
Yeah, he could be annoying, right?
Yeah. Huh. Now I'm like, where the hell did I put that head? All right. I'm going ahead and call it a night.
Damn, I'm late.
Yeah, we're 2 hours and 20 minutes in. But everybody in the chat, thank you for coming out, hanging out with us tonight. And Mr. Hulk Smash and everybody else that was here with us tonight. Commandant and Geek Fusion. Always a pleasure when you guys get to hang out.
Yes, sir.
And we'll catch y'all next time.
Have a good night.